your Lord. Hey, 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 what's your Lord? If you ask me to hear 69 God, ain't not like us, 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 ain't not like us. Mm-hmm.
Let's light this candle.
Mm-hmm. He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. How you doing, Mastermind?
I am doing well. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm in good spirits.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
That's what I like to say. So I was thinking we could hang out with some of the viewers today and let them have a discourse with us. So I'm going to share.
Have some extra civilian discourse.
Mhm. So I'm going to share the StreamYard with them, and we'll see who pops up, if anybody.
I see Steve's in already. Hey, Steve.
Is that Wolfie?
Yeah.
I'm so happy he lets me call him Wolfie. I don't know why I love that for him. Oh, okay. And then old man Barker. Hello.
Oh man, how we doing, buddy?
Wait, Steve, Wolfie doesn't have a. Okay. Wolfie doesn't have a
No wrench.
a wrench. Gotta fix that. Where do you want me to put this? Wait, I have to mute first.
Throw a wrench at him.
Yep.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Oh. There we go. Okay. Oh, sorry. Gotta get Tosh Mitt out of the camera until she's ready. Until she's ready to have a close up. Okay, so copy that.
I'm ready, Mr. DeMille.
All right, and then I'm adding it to the wrench fight. Okay, so add that. There we go. There's a StreamYard, and then I just have to pin it, and we're ready.
I see it.
Hi, old man Parker.
So we are opening up. If you got a camera or even just a mic, you can click on that StreamYard link and you can join the conversation.
Oh, that's Tosh Mitt. I thought that was.
That's how we jumped in already.
Yeah, that's Tosh Mitt. I can't pin it. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, well maybe later. I wanted to play something that's kind of funny, and this is for you, Tosh Mitt. She had a long day today. One of the schools she went to had 2 lockdowns.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And then when she was leaving, they had like a whole gang fight. Well, I shouldn't call it a gang fight.
A tussle?
But it's a lot of them, so in that kind of
right.
It ain't a one-on-one.
There's a big gang of kids, and they were fighting.
Gang of kids fighting.
Right.
It was all girls too.
Oh, geez, that'd be even
girls
worse.
Are the ones that fight the most.
Right.
In school for some. That's what I noticed when I was substitute teaching. I don't know.
Hey, girls don't care if you tap out; they're going to keep hitting you.
And then the moms were showing up to pick up the kids, and they're like, "That better not be my daughter because I'm swinging." Said, "Let me get the hell out of here."
Kids off the pile.
So I wanted to play this for you guys.
Yeah, I saw there was. I listened to like Scanner Radio has like announcements, and I saw there was a school shooting. I don't know. Was it? Where was it? Was it Tennessee? I don't remember, but there was one yesterday. Maybe it was Jacksonville. Was it Florida? I don't remember, but yeah, I saw it happened again yesterday. Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me that people are getting quick to pull those lockdown alarms.
Yeah. Did you know why it was a lockdown? You just got the hell out of there. You didn't want to know. She's like, I'm under the desk.
Right. Pushing kids out of the way. Yeah.
No, you didn't have any kids with you at the moment when they locked it down, right? You were in a room by yourself. I guess that was a blessing.
Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna play this just so we can have a little laugh and understand the severity of what's going on in the schools these days.
Oh, before you play that, I just want to give you a heads up.
Ms. Johnson.
I might have to bail out for a quick second because I'm a caregiver and we've got a situation downstairs. So you might want to find another video to play to cover for me so you don't have to tap dance. But
yeah, that's fine. We got you. We got you. We
onward and upward.
Understand. So here we go.
Because we are way too loud. We are taking a test. And sir, you need to be off your phone or else I'm going to have to take it. You're going to swing on who? You're going to swing on me? All right. Everybody pencils down real fast. Everybody go ahead and pull out your cell phones. I need y'all to record this because I don't want anything misconstrued or misunderstood. I know y'all been seeing a lot of videos on TikTok and Instagrams of substitutes and teachers being hit in the head and hit in the face with chairs and punched and things like that. I am not them. I am him. And what I mean by that is, sir, if you come up here and you try to swing on me, I promise you I will be leaving this classroom with a few degrees on my resume. First degree assault, first degree battery. So if I was you, I would think before your next action, before you do something that you're going to regret. Okay? This class seemed to be very, very smart. So I have 3 things I want you to compare and tell me what they have in common. Juggling knives, eating Tide Pods, and playing in traffic. What do those 3 things have in common? Anybody? Well, I'll tell you,
ideas.
They're all safer than playing with me. So I wouldn't try it. I really wouldn't.
I like him.
I know. I like him a lot. They're all safer than playing with me.
How can I clone him and get him in our school district? Right.
Exactly. Because man, oh man, they are definitely trying teachers, and especially substitute. You know, I did substitute teaching. They will try you because they think they can get over on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I even remember going back to high school. Or elementary school. I remember, we're getting a substitute teacher today. We're gonna go crazy. I mean, making a plan. You know, Miss Jones isn't going to be at school tomorrow. I'm going to bring my pea shooter and my, whatever. It's been a long time.
Press that button. Come get them. They can't stay in here with me. Not with that. No, sir. So everybody's all quiet. Nobody wants to jump in.
That's all right.
Come on, Wolfie. Come on through. Old man Barker.
That's all right. We can.
It'd be nice to hear their voice, you know.
Oh, absolutely. That was kind of the whole idea with civilian discourse. Is I wanted to get the whole community involved. I wanted to hear everybody's voice.
Yeah.
But not everybody is outgoing as you are, so we're just gonna have to drag them by their heels.
You know, the funny part is, I used to be scared of like having a Zoom at work. It made me so nervous having to be in front of a camera. Oh my gosh! And then when the pandemic happened and everybody had to stay home and Zoom,
right?
It's like I had to get over it. Like there's nothing I could do at this point. And then I got comfortable and I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. I mean, I'm not that difficult to look at, you know.
Well, and if you can just put out of your head that, there's a million people watching you, then
right.
Or even 10, even when
you said that. Now I'm getting nervous again. Go ahead.
No, it's just that if it's a million or if it's 10, I would still get the same subconscious. Oh my God, they're watching me. They're watching me. But yeah, that goes away pretty quickly.
Yeah. Hi, Bryce.
We got Bryce in the house. I have to. Oh, there he is. Hey, Bryce Smith. There we go.
Okay, while people are getting comfortable, hopefully to come on, I have some more jokey jokes to share with you guys.
I like jokes.
I know. I figure we'll be light because there's so much going on out there.
Yeah, I'm still prepping my brain for the debate tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have a notepad. It's gonna be a joke gold mine.
Oh my gosh. Here we go.
Come and go. They had good taco pizza. They have come and goes in Iowa, so I'm familiar with the brand.
Okay, here we go.
Staples had staples.
Put his shirt back on. Out.
Oh my gosh.
I just thought that was hilarious. Can you think of any other ones?
No, come and go is always the big one.
In and out.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't they do Hardee's?
Five Guys.
They did Five Guys.
Oh, they did?
And the man kind of like, you could tell he was zesty the way he was walking in.
Okay.
I'm ready for all 5 of you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we don't have Hardee's over here. We got Carl's Jr. I know they're the same thing, but
Hardee's?
No, Carl's Jr.
Hardee's.
No.
Hardee's.
Oh, Hardee's.
Arby's doesn't match with this.
I didn't hear him.
Oh, Hardee's. Yeah.
The hard E, not the soft E.
Hardee's.
The
We had
Hardee's.
Hardee's. That's with the 2 E's, right? Hardee's.
Yeah, we have it.
But what he said, Carl Jr.'s?
Carl Jr.
That's like in Texas, bro. I see.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Hardee's bought Carl's Jr. or Carl's Jr. bought Hardee's, but they kept the Carl's Jr. name. I don't know if there are any Hardee's anymore. Somebody in the chat knows, you can help me out, but I think they all just changed to Carl's Jr. as far as I know.
Now this might be a stretch, but like another one they could have done was IHOP.
Right? You could either be on one leg or just holding one eyeball.
Hi, Orca.
Orca's in the house. Hello, Orca. Oh,
For those of
Michael's
you who
here.
just
Hey,
got
Michael.
Here. For those of you who just got here, there's a link that I pinned, so you could jump on and talk to us if you like.
Yeah, you can actually take my seat. I'm going to have to go downstairs and help out Better Half here in a minute or two. So somebody could jump in and take my seat. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. It's cold in here. So yeah, this debate tomorrow. I mean,
Do you have any predictions?
I don't think she's going to do well. Personally,
she never has. She has even with everything that sounds, I don't even want to say halfway decent, but anything that sounds normal is something that was pre-scripted or a softball, questions. Whenever she comes to, obviously she couldn't win a single delegate, and
I think she won one.
Yeah, did
one
she?
Delegate. I think it was just one.
I don't know if she got that many.
Not good enough.
No, definitely not. So if she doesn't implode tomorrow during the debate, I still think that Trump's going to hand her ass.
Well, she's not going to cackle.
Not that I'm wishing for either way, but
yeah,
right? They broke her that finally.
Told her about that and made it understood. You got to stop cackling.
That's her poker tell right there. I'd love to play poker with Kamala. Take some of that $5 million she got from Israel.
And that interview she did with what's her name, Dana Bash.
Dana Bash.
I didn't think
Dan Abashed.
I think having her vice president next to her was a bad move.
Yeah.
A really bad move.
I mean, because if you're a feminist, last thing you want to see is to have her male counterpart sitting there backing her up for support. You know, she's going to be a strong woman. She's got to stand on her own 2 feet. So I don't think that having that goofy VP guy sit next to her did her any good whatsoever.
Well, you know, like, so presidents and vice presidents do interviews together. That is a thing. But
yes.
We haven't seen you in an interview in I don't know how long. So the fact that you brought him along with you is really suspect.
Well, and I get it that he's not a known quantity. Nobody knows him. So I guess they were thinking this would be a good opportunity to introduce him to people, but I don't think this was the right venue. I think you're right. I think she should have done this by herself and then schedule a whole nother press junket for him, whatever they wanted to do. But yeah, I don't think it gave the right message.
And they only asked him like 2 stupid questions. So it's like, why are you here?
Pointless.
Why?
Who am I? Why am I here?
Yeah, this is not going to bode well for her. Trump is going to wipe the floor with her, I think, personally, because
like I said, that's not what I'm hoping for, but I can't see another way of it turning out unless somebody like doses Trump's drink doses his Diet Coke before he goes on, pops him a tab of acid or something, and completely f's him up. He's going to have a pretty easy time, and he doesn't even have to bring substance. He can just hit her with one-liners, hit her with zingers, and throw her off her game. He won't have to say anything, and he can still win if he can just get under her skin.
I mean, he could talk about how she flip-flops. She's flip-flopped on issues. Like she played like a progressive, but now she's a centrist.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he could go off an old record. He could go off the fact that she was Indian American until she became black. There's so many things he could.
And I don't know if that is playing in his favor or not. I'm gonna guess that his handlers are gonna tell him to lay off that in black to Indian or Indian to black move. I mean, I think it was pretty funny and pretty apropos, but I can see how that turns some people off. But it's not that he's wrong. I'm not saying that he's wrong, but I can see how that could backfire on him. Sometimes when you point out something, it makes you look worse than the thing you're pointing out.
The people it would backfire on aren't voting for him anyway.
That's a good point.
So the black people who are like, she's not black, they'd love to hear Trump say that.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to hear him say that.
Yeah. And like I said, not that it's undeserved, but I don't know. My guess is he's going to lay off that for the debate. That's my prediction.
So apparently there's some breaking news. Josh Mitt wants to share.
No, I can't find it. It was on X.
What is it about?
It was about RFK Jr. and Trump, and they were going after like a bunch of different corporations and like corporate taxes or something. Can you pull it?
I don't know because I don't know.
It was on X. I don't have my phone. You have your phone?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have said nothing.
Huh?
I can't imagine.
I don't have my phone.
You weren't ready. You shouldn't have said anything. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just if it's going to be corporate tax and Trump and Bobby, I can't imagine that it's going to be good news for you and me.
Oh, yeah, not at all.
No, it's not good news for us. It was just them. I need to know if that was a true thing. Oh, you pulled it up?
But I don't know what I'm looking for. That's what
Trump
I'm
and
saying.
RFK Jr.
Well, can you do it over there?
I can't. I can't log on.
You can't log on the X? Try it. I bet you I have it saved. Sorry about that. Um, so I learned the other day that that money that
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Come-
duty calls. I'm so
duty
sorry.
calls. Okay. No worries. No worries. So anybody want to be my co-host for the moment?
Michael?
Hi, Snorky. My major question to kick off the debate is would be if Biden is too demented to run again, why has she not honored her duty to the 25th Amendment him? That is a really good point because you knew all this time that something was wrong. How can I trust you? You played along like he was fine. Um, I just don't see being able to trust you after you did something like that. It's like it's too late for you. I mean, I already knew you weren't trustworthy, but this kind of takes the cake. And we didn't elect you. You were selected, not elected. Yeah, this was planned all the way. Yes. I think they were trying to get Biden far enough along where they didn't have any other choice but run just like run Kamala and not go through the free and fair elections. So they just try to kick the can down the road as long as they could, so they could just exalt her into the presidency. hmm Nahilo agrees, which is snark. If he's too old to run for election, he's too old to be running the country. Yep, and that was and all of them should be held accountable for that elder abuse. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Okay, I'm gonna play something funny again because I want to be fun today. You want to jump on and
I wanted to say something.
you want to say something?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you're typing it. These people play us every chance they get. Yes, they do.
No, not that. This one.
Hillary is bad, but I worry that they may have been trying to sneak CIA Pete into the vice presidency. Pete Buttigieg?
No, he ain't never go.
So technically, she could already be president if they actually cared. Hmm.
Because
What does
he's
that
too
mean?
old. I'm talking about if Biden can't really serve right now because he's too old, unfit. That's what the vice president's for, huh?
Well, they're trying to play it off like he isn't demented. He just decided not to run again for the sake of the country because
No,
there were too many
that
questions
means
about his
he's
age.
incapable
That's what
now. I agree with everybody.
what?
Right? He's incapable to run the country now.
We know that, but they're trying to play it off like that's not true.
I
They
know.
have to keep going with their lie.
I hear you.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
I'm trying to ask who the hell he played it off to because Americans already know.
They can't admit that they've been lying all this time. They gotta
Somebody.
just gotta gaslight us the entire stretch of the way.
Well, somebody need to burn their feet.
Snork's in the house. Hey, Snork.
Pete is a career politician, and remember that um, town hall meeting? Pete Buttigieg and Vivek Ramaswamy were both there. asking questions. So they pick these people
Oh yeah.
and groom them into you know the next big politicians. Um,
Well,
I
yeah.
think.
Pete was part of that. What do they call that? The World Economic Forum youth group that they,
Yeah,
whatever they, yeah. But I think wasn't Tulsi come out? Didn't she? Tulsi Gabbard
Tulsi
come out
came
of
out of there
there?
too,
Yeah. There's
but Tulsi went against the grain, so they booted her ass out.
Mhm.
How
Right.
dare you endorse Bernie Sanders? Like, what the hell is
Well,
wrong with you?
and that's kind of been their goal. I think Justin Trudeau. I think he came out of there. It's
Hmm.
it, and they're
Um,
that's what they're planning is they're realizing that country borders don't really matter if they can get their people in the heads of all these different countries. Then it's just they've got control of that's the world domination.
well, Cory Booker was at APEC, um, giving a speech to them about how to get people, I guess, like recruit
Hmm.
young people, and he's telling them that you have to find them in college, get them from the college, and groom them from college. And I'm
Right.
like, really, Corey, you're working with the enemy like that? Well, we already knew that, but
Well, yeah.
just to see it is really disheartening.
Yeah, it's sad.
There's a
But
specific name for Cory Booker. What's the name? In the closet? That's a term.
but thank you for covering for me while I had to run. As the saying goes, time, tide, and laxatives wait for no man or elderly woman. So we are taken care of there and we are ready to go. Did we get that? I want everybody to know that there is a link in the chat pinned to the top. If you want to come in and shoot the shit, have a little civilian discourse. We are open to topics. If anybody has a topic they would like to discuss and get the expert opinion of Abby Dew and Mastermind Hour, he says,
Expert.
he says tongue in cheek.
Oh, I'm looking up this first Snorky. So Buttigieg graduated from Harvard and the University of Oxford. Um, so
Man of the
that
people,
right there tells you, yeah, man of the people.
Mr. Blue Collar.
He pulled himself up from the bootstrap, for sure.
Well, he wanted to go to Yale so he could get into Skull and Bones, but they wouldn't have him, so he had to go to Oxford, I guess. That was his back. Oxford was his backup school.
Back up.
I can't
Let's
even comprehend that life.
Right. Starkey says in
Snort.
2017 he began 3 years of work at the management consulting firm.
McKinsey, that's the one I was trying to think of.
From 2009 to 2017, he was an intelligence officer in the United States Naval Reserve, obtaining the rank of
Please say Rear Admiral.
Lieutenant.
Please say Rear Admiral.
Lieutenant. He was mobilized and deployed to the war in Afghanistan for 7 months in 2014. Now, a person like him, do you really think he was in harm's way in the war in Afghanistan? Because
no.
they send him there so they could. It's stolen valor, really.
Well, yeah,
Like,
he wanted to get that. He wanted to get a deployment on his resume, but I'm sure he was shuffling papers in an office and somewhere way
right.
far away from anything exploding.
Until it was time for his photo ops.
Yeah, he wanted to pad his resume so he could run for mayor of. Where was he at?
Remember when Prince Harry? They were interviewing Prince Harry, and then like some shit went down, and he just gets up from the interview, starts running to be with his, and I'm
right.
like, please. First of all, that journalist wouldn't have been there if they would have been in harm's way. So Don't piss on me and tell me it's rain, please. Please do not. When did they do that again? Also, when Biden went to go visit Zelensky, and they're walking.
Took the train. He had to take the train across Ukraine. Oh, the air raid sirens. Yes.
Yeah,
I
the
remember
siren,
that.
and they're walking all
Yeah.
like tough guys. And I'm like, y'all know damn well ain't nothing going on over there where you are.
Well, and I always figured there wasn't even an air raid siren. It was just somebody with a soundboard, you know.
And a microphone.
An editor.
Mhm.
Microphone.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got another funny thing for you. You wanna
Hit me.
let me hit you with what I got. Okay. How you all right. So I just start it over. I don't know what's happening. There we go.
Black people.
Okay, wait. I gotta start it over. I
From the
hate
top.
Facebook for that. Yeah, I hate Facebook for that. But it's hilarious. Okay.
People do that black people can't.
This is easy. When something is really funny, we are able to stay in the same place, go anywhere when we laugh.
What can white people do?
That black people can't. I don't know why we're like that. Why we always gotta run? Run all out the chair. Oh, we're very animated.
That's
Okay.
how you know that's how you know if the joke hit or not. For a white audience, you gotta listen for the playback.
Okay, let's get serious
I've never
again.
been a professional comedian, but I would assume.
Yeah. Okay, getting back to the seriousness. Okay, Oxford was really bad. He was a Rhodes Scholar, yes he was, of a mega organization that pushes defeat of the poor. Oh, that's not shocking.
No.
Not shocking at all.
Yeah. It's South Bend, South Bend, Indiana, they're already getting to eat the bugs and be happy about it. They're getting ready.
You know, that's so interesting you just said that. Because I want to yeah, that's interesting you just said that. I can't remember what I wanted to say, but
well, in this Biden administration put him in charge of transportation when South Bend was notorious for having crappy infrastructure and potholes everywhere. And then they put Kamala in charge of made her the border czar, and she was an anchor baby. I mean, it's like opposite day in the Biden administration. Whatever is your greatest failure, we're going to put you in charge of that. So maybe it's like a growth program. They're trying to get them extra practice.
But I mean, that was kind of the Trump administration. Like,
yeah, putting Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State, that was good thinking. Good thinking, Donnie.
Or as Cat Williams said, who is he putting in his administration? Darth Vader.
Right.
What's that guy with the thing over his mouth?
Bane.
Bane.
Yeah, was Freddy Krueger not available for the job? It was.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it was just person after person. It's like, how are you putting these people in charge of? They are actually against these organizations. So, but you're gonna have them run it? Okay, that's gonna.
Well, it's like Obama. Obama got Citibank to fill out his cabinet for him. He didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah, he just got the email.
Yeah, this is who you're getting,
and that was it.
Yeah. Like it or lump it, this is what you're going to deal with for the next 8 years.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure Kamala's team is I mean, they're already bad, so why
Oh
not?
yeah, but I'm sure they will all be handpicked by the DNC, and she'll get the same chain email that Obama got.
Yes, diabolical. So diabolical. Yep, it's in plain sight. They're playing with us in plain sight, and it's like because
Well,
they're like, and what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
that was what I was gonna say. Is they don't even care anymore. They don't even try and hide it. They're just putting it in our face, and yeah, what are you gonna do about it? What are
Mhm.
you gonna do? Have a revolution?
That'd
And
be
that's
nice, actually.
well, and that's the thing is they're taunting us into it because they know that's the only way that we're going to be able to get them out of there is if we force them out. So they're daring us.
And
You know,
and the fact that they're trying to convince us that the economy is on the upswing, inflation is only 3%.
right?
That's not even possible.
Last time I checked, eggs were way more than 3% more than the beginning of the pandemic. So
Yeah.
I don't know where they're pulling that 3% number from. I'm sure they have very talented accountants that can cherry pick data to get that number to where they want it, but that doesn't represent reality by any stretch of the imagination. As far as I can see, I don't know, maybe it's really cheap where you live or you guys in the chat. If you're only paying, $2 for a dozen eggs and, what was it, 2.25 for gas, once they get those numbers up, then they bring it back just a little bit. It's a ratchet effect. They'll take it up to 4 gallons and then bring it down to $3.80 a gallon. See, look how much we brought down gas. They're never going to say, well, it started at 3 and then went to 4.
Yeah, exactly. And it won't go down after that 20 cent they gave you back.
Nope.
We're just gonna stay here
Mm-hmm.
until we go up on you again.
The new normal for now.
New normal. Yeah. I was watching. Dang, I wish I could pull it up. It's like an inflation by industry or
Mm-hmm.
or by produce or by the way they broke it down. And it's like, how is everything in these categories above 3% individually? So how the fuck is the total 3%? Like that? That's not even. Is that new math?
Yeah. Well, I need to find the one thing that went down negative 20% just to bring that average closer. Nothing went below, and if everything's above, then that's definitely not the average.
Okay. So Cobra says,
I'm over here doing this job, okay?
"Oh, excuse me." Okay, it's sleight of hand. It's a 2.9% rate, not 2.9%. So every year it multiplies by 2.9%. For example, with a 2.9% rate, this means 25K in 2011 is worth 36K today.
Right. It's up 3% from last year.
It's up 3% from last year. It's not 3%, is what he's saying.
Right. Yeah. What was that percentage for 2020 and 2021? Those would be interesting numbers because if they can't, what they need to do is do a couple years of negative 3% interest just to get us back to where we were when we were young and the world was an open book.
Mm. Well, I mean, they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, so that's something.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a nice name.
Right. Yeah. It's just like every other bill that flies through Congress, it usually means the exact opposite of what it says. Like Patriot Act or Citizens United or CARES Act. None of those, all those are false advertising.
So it's about that time of year again where the government's going to shut down if we don't get this bill.
Oh,
everybody be very afraid.
It's omnibus harvesting time.
Yeah.
Let's see how thick we can make that and give you 24 hours to read it and then sign. That's what I was just watching. Somebody was talking about when they did the Patriot Act. The only senator that read it was Dennis Kucinich, and he's like, "You fuckers need to read this because this is the end of democracy. They're gonna be watching everybody." He was obviously right, but that didn't stop everybody from voting it in.
They're gonna go on and on about how the government's gonna shut down. We're gonna be at the wee hours of the night trying to get this bill passed, and then all of a sudden they get the bill passed. And okay, so next, thanks for the scare again.
And it's just such an effed up way to do it because none of us get to go and buy our gas and our groceries and run up our credit card. And then at the end of the month, we don't get to vote on whether we're going to pay it or not. It's already a bill. You have to pay it. It's not, we're going to vote on paying it if I get a foot rub and get to watch football on Sunday night, then I'll pay the bill. But otherwise, if I don't get my way, I'm not going to pay it. That's not how anybody in the world works. I don't know. I'm ready.
Is that not how anybody in the world works? Let me see. That's how it works for uber rich people. Didn't what's his name? Elon Musk. Okay, he used his stocks at Tesla to pay for Twitter, and then went back and some kind of way. It's like he didn't really spend any money. He
leveraged his stocks.
He leveraged his stocks, right?
I think he did dump some Tesla stock, and my personal opinion is he was using Twitter as an excuse to dump the Tesla stock, which was dropping, and it's going to continue to drop, but as a way to be able to dump stock in his own company without starting a scare. Because if the owner's dumping his stock, everybody's going to go like, "Oh shit, what's he know that I don't know?" And the only way that he could get rid of Tesla stock without starting a panic was to say, "Oh, they're making me buy Tesla now because I have some sort of verbal agreement with them. So I'm going to go ahead and drop I don't remember, 5 million on. I don't even remember how much he dropped on Twitter, but that was a pretty convenient excuse for voiding himself from some worthless Tesla stock.
So the reason I said that is because, like, okay, you don't pay capital gains tax on your stocks because it's not real money until you cash out, right? Well, if it's not real money until you cash out, how the hell were you able to use those stocks to leverage to buy another company? So is it real money or it's not real money?
Well, none of the rich people use their real money. They will take their stocks and take a loan against the stocks, and then whatever is, obviously if they're wealthy enough to be insider trading or getting the inside scoop, then whatever profit they make off of what they borrowed against, they keep that, and then they just give that original loan money back to, pay off the original loan, which they never really took out anyway. So they're just gambling on house money. They're not using their own money.
Mm-hmm. T.O. Orca, I just gave you a wrench. Cobra, you just got a wrench.
Wrench it up.
Wrench it up. So yeah, Sean says, and then Brown Look at No Ice is here. Hey, Sean says, it's not profit till you cash out. Yeah. So then you shouldn't be able to leverage it as if it is profit. You should have to cash that shit out and then pay for what you're trying to buy. Like, right?
It's only the rich people have figured out how to move money without paying taxes on it. So once you get up in those higher brackets, they don't really worry about it anymore.
So So if you are just getting here, you guys, check out the pin in the chat. If you want to join us and come talk to us,
We've
we'd love
we've
to
got an
have
open
you.
call.
Yep, you don't have to show your face. But we'd love to hear
And
your voice.
you don't have to be like me and show your whole ass either. You can just
Oh my gosh. Sean says, also, if you have a 401k or IRA, make sure it's in Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ, average gain of 15 to 20% per year. Well, I mean, I hate 401ks. They basically, oh, sorry.
I just attached my IRA to the Nancy Pelosi unusual whales account. So yeah, I've been doing 40% profit, so hand over fist. Just a joke. I don't have any money.
Snorky says, what if it's equity and equity can be used as collateral? It wasn't just collateral though. I think he
Well, yeah, for collateral for the loan.
Payment.
Well, he used it as collateral to take out a loan and then use that to make money. And then the profits he made, he used to whatever he cleared on top of it. And then the base he just used to pay back that loan. I don't even know if they pay back loans. To tell you the truth, I think they probably just all get written off. They're good like that. If you got a good banker friend.
Remember all those PPP loans they got for free?
What was that? I was just looking at that Judge Janine. She got 2 of them and didn't pay back. She got a personal one, and then for Judge Janine LLC business face whatever. So yeah, she took 2 of them out, and then she would go on TV and talk about how we have too many worthless eaters here that are just corporate welfare queens. Well, she's the queen of the queens.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to I don't know who said something about the 401k, but why we need to bring pensions back. 401k is just privatizing our retirement, and then we let Wall Street gamble with our money.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
Personally. Ooh, we got Snork in here. He'll give us a little education on the financial aspects of this conversation.
A bounty hunter business. Oh my God. Cobra, only if they go after the politicians.
Hey, Snork.
How you doing, Snork?
All right. Well, let's talk about pensions. Right now, pensions are basically means for people to move their money to unsuspecting victims. So if I have a large account, now somebody from the financial industry might be able to call and correct me. But if I've got a large industry and I've got some people that I make a lot of money off, making sure that I pick the best investments for them, that means I've got to sell the bad investments to someone.
Right.
And my guess is the best investments go to the ones that are, let's call them their friends, and the rest go to the people that are low pensions, the teachers and stuff like that.
Right.
Where teachers all across America were responsible for a lot of the growth of Walmart. So in the beginning, a huge amount of the Walmart money came from teacher pensions. And so like the teacher pensions would buy Walmart stock. So things like that can happen. Maybe other people didn't think that was a good buy at the time. And so I don't think it's always in there. I don't see why.
Wasn't that reminiscent of the 2008 housing thing when everybody was buying all those junk bonds? Isn't that what those junk bonds are?
I was just about
not sure on that one.
Okay.
They were like pooling
They were
all of these all those bad investments together and selling
bad
them.
loan, or yeah, low
And there was
chance of getting
investments.
back.
There was investments betting on them failing,
Oh yeah.
and some of those
Oh, yeah.
investments failed. So that was a whole nother thing, and I'm not apt to work on that. But what I would like to see is our option to buy bonds as a pension plan.
Right.
And so originally pensions were an excuse to keep you working for the company. You wanted the pension, you had to retire at that place. I don't know when they started going off. 401k might have been it, but 401k allowed you to leave a company and take your pension to the next company. But in order to get your,
I'm sorry, I did not know that. You could roll it into something else
there
once
was
you
catches.
leave the company.
There was catches.
Oh yeah.
You had to be fully vested, and usually that would be a statement on when you got hired. So to be fully vested, you had to work a probationary period plus 5 years or plus 7 years. It would all depend on the company. So you had to be at the company 5 years before you could roll it into another company. Now, if you didn't make 5 years, they got it all. You didn't get it if it wasn't vested. Now, the part of the thing that was done was they started saying partial vested. So there are so many people upset that it got to be, well, if I work there 1%, I get to keep 10% or if I work there 1 year, I get to keep 10% of the money. And at fully vested, I get to take it all with me. But yes, you could suddenly.
I'm sorry. That kind of sounds scary. Sounds like to me they would be like, okay, once you're about to be fully vested, for some reason we got to let you go and you don't get any of your money.
That happened a lot in the 90s.
Did that?
We would set up a factory. We would be paying into it. The factory would be sold and moved to some other place, and we'd have to start over again.
Because
just another example of banker theft.
No, that's the plan. You guys, this is what I learned from watching people, that you can plan 5 to 10 years ahead, execute that shit while people just catching on to what you're doing, but you done already had a plan. You know what I mean? That's basically what's happening.
Yeah. So I would like us to have the option to actually buy U.S. bonds and use that as our pension plan. And
now that we're off the petrodollar, there's no reason that we couldn't buy gold. Why not just invest in gold?
I'm not. I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know what our current plans are for buying gold. I know you can have some, but I don't. The gold standard's gone, so I don't know what's happening there. That's not the metal I would buy.
No.
I think you are alluding to, like bonds are supposed to be guaranteed, but what if the money isn't valuable anymore because we're moving to the petro one? Maybe you should buy bonds in China instead.
I just saw a picture the other day, and I don't know which country it was, but they literally had their script, their paper money was all just lined up in the gutters where people, it's so worthless that people won't even bother to bend over and pick it up. And I mean, it was like a picture, it looked like 10 feet of gutter, and it was just covered with money, like playbills or something. It looked like New York Times after New Year's Eve. It was just scattered with cash. It's like
they're like pennies now.
Yeah, not even worth a penny.
Cobra says,
I'm not sure.
Get your war bonds today.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I trust the BRICS. It might be okay. It might fail really, really bad. So that doesn't mean that operating by themselves are stupid or anything. They might have other people working against them.
Well, of course they do. They have us working against them. That's what isn't that the reason? Was it not Gaddafi? Who's the one that wanted to start their own currency? Was that Gaddafi?
Wait a second. Let's go back 20 years. Who's most likely to be working against them? The U.S. or other financial people?
Well,
so remember, the financial thing was people betting to others to fail. Remember the stuff with, was it Blockbuster or whatever, where they're all trying to make the stock fail so they could make extra money that way.
And
How many
GameStop,
people think GameStop?
AMC?
That's it.
Yes.
GameStop and AMC.
How many people might crash bricks to profit?
Just start betting against it, right? Well,
Well,
and when I say America is going against them, I should say the owners of the Federal Reserve are going against them. But since they are our new owners, I just kind of roll that all into one.
well, the like top 10 largest, most profitable banks, at least 4 or 5 of them are Chinese banks. So
yeah,
it'd be pretty hard to knock them down.
well, might not be bad, but if BRICS failed, China's large enough to fall within itself, so it could be, it could just
they could take that,
retreat,
yeah, right,
and still be okay. But the South American countries, I don't see them being able to retreat from a failure. And who knows what some of the other countries are dealing with. So being able to predict the future is real tough.
What, you're not Nostradamus?
right?
Well, I don't go by that name on the.
Hi, Rondo.
Oh, I'll be quiet.
No.
not at all.
He just came to the chat, so I just wanted.
No,
to
I
I thought we had another person popping in.
I remember when Apple the stock was crap. It was like $3. It was before the iPhone came out. It was like it was in between when they had the G4 and they came out with the iPhone. I think, was that right?
Was that when the
after
stock,
Steve Jobs?
Was that when the stock was absolutely worthless?
$3. It was $3 a share. And I told my old man, let's take everything and throw it into it. And if he would have listened to me, by God, I wouldn't be talking to you now. I'd be talking to you from an island somewhere.
And who did buy it? Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Yeah, I was going to say Microsoft invested heavily into Apple.
$5 billion, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Chump change.
Right.
I mean, most of these companies.
But he got pulled out of his couch.
A lot of these companies they buy each other's stocks.
Oh, absolutely.
Like propping each other up.
Yeah. The largest investor. Go ahead, Sork.
It's called Keiretsu.
Keiretsu?
So, where you have so many intertwined purchases between each other, you can't tell where one company ends and the next begins. And you can't tell who owns it because I own this much of this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Some of them own back, and it's an absolute madhouse when you're working in one.
I got a question for you, Snork. Do you know who the largest investor in BlackRock is?
No.
That's Vanguard. You know who the largest investor in Vanguard is? I'll bet you get this one.
Jamie Kurtz.
So yeah, if you've got BlackRock owning Vanguard and Vanguard owning BlackRock, where do you divide the two? Is it just Van Rock, Blackguard?
That is a Keiretsu.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take a minute to read this to people at home so they'll understand what a Keiretsu is. I didn't know this, so thank you very much, Snorky, for bringing that language to the forefront. A Keiretsu is, first of all, it's a Japanese term.
Expand our lexicon.
Yeah. Oh, let me make this bigger.
You can hit Control Plus.
Investopedia. Nope, I'm on a Mac. It'll
oh, why?
You always forget that. All right. The structure of major companies in Japan known as Keiretsu is steeped in traditional relationships. A Keiretsu is an interdependent group of companies, each with its own banking partner, manufacturers, distributors, and supply chain partners. The roots of the Keiretsu organizational structure can be traced as far back as the 1600s and well into the Industrial Revolution. Okay, I could see that, I guess, in the 19th century.
I saw in Japan, they're going through a little bit. They're getting in a little bit of trouble. The biggest used car company in Japan was like Big Auto or Big Motor. and now they were getting in trouble because they were juicing all of their claims to collect more money from the insurance company. But the insurance company didn't really mind because they were the biggest investor in Big Auto or Big Motor, and so they would actually find, the training videos for the employees on how to make a dent bigger with a sock and a golf ball, or how to use a piece of chalk to make a scratch look longer. And so all of the CEO put his kid in charge, and then they both had to resign. And when they started looking into it, they started looking at the number 2 used cars, the number 3 used cars company, and they're all doing the same thing. So they're all so intertwined with each other that fortunately they're going to bring themselves all down together in one big swoop instead of just waiting one at a time. So I can see where that can be both a blessing and a curse.
So, our horizontal Koretsu is an alliance of cross-shareholding companies led by a Japanese bank, but that's just because of they're speaking about Japanese,
Right.
the Japanese model, but it doesn't have to be led by a Japanese bank, is what I'm trying to get at.
No, we just don't have an English word for it yet.
Yeah,
right.
pretty much.
Exactly.
That one there, 2 names where you got a purple, where it says a vertical Koretsu is a partnership of manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, work cooperative to increase efficiency and costs. That's mostly what I dealt with. Horizontal also I dealt with, where there's so many people that cross-own shares, you can't tell who you work for. So you walk from one side of the office to the other, and you have to use a different name for that company that you walked into.
Rondo says, sounds like a cartel. Now, this is really interesting.
It's all definitions, right? They're splitting hairs.
Yeah. I wanted to read this to you guys. And thank you, Tashmit, for bringing this up. Blackstone Group Incorporated said on Wednesday it agreed to acquire genealogy provider Ancestry.com Incorporated for private equity rivals for $4.7 billion, including its debt, placing a big bet on Family Tree. Now, what could go wrong with Blackstone having access to your...
Yeah. Do you think they want the website, or do you think they want the DNA profiles?
DNA. What could go wrong?
For $4.7 billion to get the DNA of everybody that's on Ancestry, I think that was probably a bargain, because that's an investment. They're going to be using that information and selling it.
That is some scary, scary stuff right there. That's why I never did those DNA. I was like, I'm not doing that.
I was too dumb. I did it right when they first started, not thinking anything about it. So now they got my DNA. And they were wrong anyway. They said I was like half Scottish, which I don't even, I have like one little part on my mom's side that might be Scottish, but I'm like way more German. I have to be way more German.
And Mother's here, by the way. Mother, how you doing?
Hi, Mom. So I'll see if she'll put it in a chat, but as far as I know, Mom's side has a very small there would be, I don't know how it could get to, I think I was like 35% Scottish, and I don't know. It's got to be her mom's dad, my mom's dad, but then that's excluding her mom, and then both my dad's folks.
Go ahead. She said her hubby wouldn't let her take the test.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ambiguity on these tests. So if we start to look at them, originally it was people from this area had these characteristics.
Right.
It wasn't if you were Scotch or if you were that, you had the characteristic. If I was at this mile marker, whatever, the people around me had this blend. And
Right.
suddenly that switched over to being I'm this.
Hmm.
And I don't know how exact that was. Also, the Europe, not so much Scotland, not so much Finland, but somewhat all of Europe for the past 1,000 years has been a blender.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you could have ancestry from Belgium that is Scottish. You could have all types of mixes in different places. It's just like there was wars even in the 1800s, where 18 or 1700, where Sweden came down and just devastated Germany.
Right.
Well, that left a whole bunch of Swedish people in Germany with Swedish names. So we thought my family was German, and I noticed the spelling of my name is Swedish.
Ah. Well, and better half hour is Sicilian, and when she got hers back, there was a bunch of French in there. She's like, that can't be right. And I was like, well, of course it can be right. They share a border, and she has some Northern Italian family. So those Northern Italians and those Southern French, I'm sure, were getting along just fine at some point.
Getting along just
And-
fine.
And then I would play the line from True Romance where they're talking about the Moors invading Sicily. She doesn't appreciate that very much, but I always get a good kick out of repeating that line to her.
There's a town in Denmark, right in the middle of Denmark, where they thought that blonde people were causing dwarfism, and they bought 2 boatloads of Italian women and moved them there. So a lot of the Danish people there aren't blonde; they have black eyebrows. Well, they might have blondish hair, but they'll have black eyebrows. And
got a little French in there.
Yeah, well, Italian. And so my family had one of those women in it, and they brought rhubarb to Denmark. Rhubarb officially didn't make it to Denmark until the late 1800s, but they were already in the United States, and they took their rhubarb with them and introduced it to the Minnesotans.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love me some rhubarb strawberry pie.
Yeah. So I had a 500-year-old strawberry plant, a rhubarb plant out there.
How old?
Yeah, 500.
Really?
Yeah, somebody just stomped it. I don't know if it's going to grow back next year or not.
Oh.
So kids can be kids.
Oh.
But I've given away a lot of it, so the neighbors have some. I could always grab some back.
Yeah, the folks have rhubarb in Iowa. I think it's pretty. Sure, it's pretty resilient because we had cows walking over it all the time. It was actually in a cow pasture.
Yeah, so they actually brought it over and used part of their water ration on the boat to
keep the rhubarb alive.
Yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, so
wait, this is a vegetable, and you make a pie out of it. I'm so confused.
You've never had rhubarb?
No.
Oh.
People kill for it.
Oh.
You can watch YouTube
Josh
videos.
Mitch never had it either.
But you can watch YouTubes of old women fighting in Des Moines over strawberries.
So if you like hot sauce that has a little bit of vinegar, that rhubarb's got kind of that same tang. It'll add that tang to your strawberry pie. Oh my! You can't eat it raw. It'll probably. I know the leaves will kill you. I don't know about eating the stalk raw, but once you cook it down and you put it in that pie, oh my God, it takes it to a whole new level.
My parents had a rhubarb patch in their backyard that was 20 feet by 50 feet.
Oh.
My father got transferred to Nebraska, and they rented out the house. When they came back, there was only like 10 by 10 feet left of the rhubarb. All the neighbors in the neighborhood just came over and just started chopping it up and taking it back to their farms.
Taking it by the root, digging it up. Rhubarb rustlers.
Tosh Smith said that must be a Mayberry thing. Oh, that's funny.
But anyway, back to the thing. We need to do things that make pensions and stuff like that available to all of us. And it needs to be where we're not being put into a point where we're just making it more profitable for somebody else to keep going. And a lot of those people never worked in their life.
Right.
They worked their whole life just on what their investments were. And the people that work every day with just a few dollars a week to put away, they end up funding the other people. And I don't think that should be. So we have a lot of projects that could go.
That was one of the biggest tricks that they played on us, was using death tax to scare everybody, when death tax just meant that if you got $1 billion, you got to kick some of that back before you give it to your kid, your Elon Musk kid.
I have to pay 3% of the value of my house twice a year as tax. And that's a lot of money for me.
Yeah. Well,
I'm getting ready. I'm saving up all my money right now for 3 paychecks to go over and get ready to pay my next tax bill.
Yeah,
I guess
the myth of home ownership is you may own the wood and the glass, but you don't own the land that it's on. Even if you bought the land, you're still renting, you're leasing from the government.
But isn't that 3% kind of considered low because of your age, and you get like earned income tax credit or something for it? Like if I took over my mother's home, her property tax, I'm gonna have to pay triple what she pays because of, I think it's called earned income tax credit.
I'm paying the full value of the tax. I'm not getting any discount.
Shouldn't you be though, because of your age?
Biden raised the age.
Yeah. You can't even retire till you're 67 now, right?
Yeah, 67.
And they're going to keep cranking. Wait till I'm 66, and they're going to jam that up to 70. I just know it.
Well, Biden was asking that it be raised to 74.
Mm-hmm. Die before we have to pay you. Die.
Right. That's basically. So when they're saying that they're not going to cut Social Security, technically you are, if you keep raising the damn age.
You're cutting it by 4 years.
Well, back when they made Social Security be 65, very few people were expected to make it at that age. Very few people expected to make it at that age. Even when I was a kid in the 60s, somebody making it to 60 was rare. And right now, it seems like people I know are dying faster than they were back then.
I think that's a feature, not a bug.
Mother.
I think that's why they're feeding us garbage, because we're living too long. If they feed us sugar and crap and jam us with untested stuff, then
I view it that way as well too.
Wait a minute, are y'all living in mansions or something? Look at these property taxes they're throwing out in the chat.
Oh, my phone just died. I can't.
Wait, what?
I'm flying blind now.
Oh,
okay, so Sean says 7. So like I'm rounding $7,600. Mother says $2,500.
Well,
that's
in
a lot
BFE,
for property taxes.
And that's in BFE, Iowa. That house is bigger than mine and is worth half as much just because of where it's at.
Yeah, so I'm in Iowa, and we have very high property taxes here.
Well, ours are low then.
We got to subsidize those pick acres.
I wonder how many square feet this house is.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Remember when I moved out here, I was thinking of buying the neighbor's house. The neighbor's house was going for $20,000.
It needed a lot of work? Like, what was it just? Or
I didn't think it needed a lot of work.
You weren't basically just buying the land?
No, it was a nice house.
Wow.
And nobody was buying it. So they kept, every month they kept reducing it by 5,000. And we had some insurance money out for my wife when she died. And I was like just getting ready to ask the kids if they wanted to all put the money together and go buy this house. And then dang, somebody bought it. They bought it for $125,000. And I'm
Oh
like,
wow. Oh man.
I could have bought it and sold it.
Right.
So I have a life hack for you guys, for some of you out there. So if you can move your retirement into something called a self-directed IRA, and then that becomes investment money. So you could use that as a down payment for purchasing investment property, or purchasing, how many things you could purchase all kind of stuff with it. But you have to move it into a self-directed IRA. A lot of people who flip houses or buy rent houses, they use this method to come up with the money for the down payment. So Google it.
I think 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I took the money I had in my, it's not a 401k, but it's just like it. I took it all, turned it to cash.
Mm.
I couldn't pull the cash out, but I moved it to a non-risk. So no matter what, it was locked in at that value. Is I thought that there would be a thing where there would be a long-term loss. And I can remember in the 90s when all my friends lost like 60% of their retirement in just 1 week. Just bang.
Yeah.
All the stuff went down.
Which
And I
is
didn't
why I
want
don't like
that. So I
401ks.
thought, well, I'm going to put a certain portion of it that I know that no matter what, I've got something. And then I let it go back up, and I've got more money that's riding in it, but I still feel very uncomfortable that stock market could crash and I could lose all the rest of it.
That's why.
That's what always made me nervous about flipping houses, is because of 2008 pretty much scared me out of doing anything like that, because you could buy it for $50,000 and a month later it's worth half. There's no way to see that coming.
The 2008 happened. There was a lot of buildings being built, like apartments and stuff in the Chicago suburbs. And then nobody had money to buy houses, all of a sudden like that. So they all went on the market dirt cheap. And a lot of churches bought the houses at pennies, immediately turned them over to Section 8 housing. And then they got to take the value that normally they would charge for a house and claim that as a loss or something. Somehow they were able to turn that into cash from the government.
And the churches.
Yeah, I'm serious but so all of these, a bunch of mega churches with a really big, big.
And their pastors live in the churches. They don't have to pay any taxes on the house because the church owns the house, but the pastor lives in it. We were when Tosh Mitt and I are in talks with this lady about a community center. We're still trying to decide on whether we're going to go into the business with her to start it. But it's across from a church. And after we left, we got lost. And how many churches did we pass by, Tosh?
I would say 5 to 10.
5. They had to be closer to 10. And they were beautiful churches, but all of the homes in between these churches were dilapidated and run down. And I'm like, how are you a church? And your neighborhood looks like this. Like, how are there so many churches?
We have a town
they don't care about the neighborhood.
We have a town like 6,000 people, and I think there's 60 churches.
In my town, they just built, and we're pretty close to Utah, but they just built a Mormon tabernacle, and it is now the biggest building in town.
I have a former Mormon church behind me. They lost their flock and sold it, and somebody turned it into a really, really nice house.
Yeah, I bet that would be a multi-family house. I would think you would be able to fit a few people in those.
Well, the main room where everybody got together, a congregation. That's his living room. It's like a basketball
he's
court.
got his
Have a
own.
huge TV.
His home theater is technically a theater. It's like they got the.
So wonderful kitchen.
Oh, I bet.
My cat absolutely loved the guy. He'd go over to there, and the guy would let the cat into his house. And so, but yeah, there's all kinds of.
Must really love you, Snarky, because if I was a cat and somebody let me into a house like that, I would abandon you.
Look at my new house. Look at my new digs.
I made a come up.
Yeah, and the cat really did like going over there, and he'd go over there. So I'd take him for walks, and then we go out and we'd walk around the wood pile and the other trees and stuff like that. He just really loved being able to walk around there.
No, the cat would be like.
Oh, you're talking about the cat. Sorry, she said peace out, and I'm like, I was confused. Like, why are you going?
The cat's peacing out.
Yeah, the cat. Deuces.
Yeah.
That's funny. So if you guys have just joined, some of you like Rondo and Mother, if you look at the chat, there's a pin of a link, and you could just hop on and come talk to us if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, we're already at almost 90 minutes, so.
Oh, okay. It's time to peace out anyway, isn't it?
We're almost there.
Yeah, I just got some cooking done. It is cheaper to eat in Iowa in some cases.
Oh my God! And my favorite thing about Iowa is the pork. Oh Jesus! Now I just brain farted on it. With the big pork cutlets. What do they call those?
Pork loin.
The pork loin. Thank you. But the pork loin is this big, and then it's got a bun like this. So you've got like this much of the pork loin hanging out.
That's a pork tenderloin sandwich. In Iowa, if the pork tenderloin sandwich is not at least 16 inches in diameter, you're getting gypped. So usually pork tenderloin sandwich could use, I'm not making this up, a dozen buns.
Oh.
And they give you one. Sometimes they'll give you a big one, but not that big.
Yeah, technically any pork, for sure, at least 4 buns for that one sandwich, for sure.
So I would drive to the neighbor town, and they had a place there that did it where they pound them out, fold them over, pound it out, fold it over. So they have layers of crust in the middle of them,
like a Japanese sword.
Yeah, and they're very good, but one of the problems is that they used to be sold a lot at fairs and stuff like that. And so when you find a restaurant that had them, you can bring back. But I would go over there, I'd buy one, I'd cut it in quarters, and I would have to eat it over 4 days, and it was still a lot to eat each day. And I'd have extra buns.
If you ever make it to Prairieburg, you got to go to the restaurant there, and it's easy to find because Prairieburg is one cross section. It's over by it's in between Coggin and Central City, Prairieburg. But yeah, the whole town is one intersection and one stoplight. So you got 4 businesses on the corners, and then the rest are just houses. And that goes for like 2 blocks each direction. That's the whole town.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't understand. Why would you make a pork loin sandwich? Like
because you don't understand because you've never had one. That's the only if you had one, you wouldn't question it.
Are y'all putting mustard on? Like what?
Oh, mustard, onions, ketchup, pickles, a lot of pickles. A lot of pickles.
Damn, Snork, I haven't eaten yet. I'm starting to miss Iowa now. Talking about strawberry rhubarb pie and pork loin sandwiches.
It sounds awful.
Oh my God, it's heaven. It's heaven.
No, it's good.
And the sweet corn. Oh my God, when sweet corn comes in. You don't even have to cook it. You
Right.
can just eat it raw. You can eat the sweet corn raw.
Oh, I love raw sweet corn.
Oh yeah.
But you're supposed to like fry the pork loin on all sides, put it in the oven, make a
No.
sauce,
No.
cut it
You,
with a vegetable.
you have to have a
The
great big
vegetables?
pounding board. You have to have a hammer. You have to have a 1.3 pound hammer. Whack it to make that small enough to work. And
What?
Well, yeah, they're only, they're only quarter-inch thick, half-inch thick, maybe, but they start out like a loin, and they just, tenderize and flatten the crap out of it.
Y'all put raisins in your potato salad? Just tell the truth.
Raisins? Raisins and coleslaw, yes. Raisins and potato salad.
What?
You never had raisins in your coleslaw?
Oh my gosh. This is the whitest conversation I've ever had.
okay. So what do I need to do to get a?
My mom actually, she likes grapes in her tuna salad, which is strange. But
Grapes and tuna salad. Wow.
Yeah, like
see that one?
chicken salad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With red onions.
Grapes.
She likes the contrast of the onion.
The sweet and the sweet and the tangy and the.
And I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around it, but I can't picture the grapes in tuna salad. And I try and have a pretty open culinary mind, but yeah, that one I'm sure I would eat it. I'd probably make a weird face while I'm eating it, but
it's on. Go.
Oh, I was about to say, have y'all ever heard of jalapeno coleslaw?
Oh, I could do that.
That is freaking delicious.
I could definitely do that.
It's like lime juice, jalapeno. It's regular coleslaw with lime juice, cilantro, and jalapenos, of course. And you can put some sugar in it to sweeten it a little, balance it. But it's delicious with like fried seafood.
Ooh, we got a little show and tell here.
Can you see that? This is Iowa.
Yeah.
So they parked this wagon out there. You come out, you put your money in the little bag up front, and you grab a dozen ears of corn, sweet corn. And I don't mean sweet corn that's been sitting at a grocery store for a week. I don't mean groceries that have been shipped across the country. I mean sweet corn that's been picked 4 hours ago.
Pick that morning. Yeah, absolutely.
Pick that morning. Cook.
You can still feel the heat from the sun on it. You can still feel it's still warm from the sun. Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of places where that bag of money would be gone. So, we're talking, maybe $5 for a dozen.
Honor system.
Yeah, but do you know how many dozens of corn fit in that wagon?
Oh yeah.
A lot.
Oh yeah, you could have a couple $100 in that bag before you were done.
You could have a couple $1,000.
Right.
And that bag is just sitting there. Do you see anybody guarding it?
Yeah. I don't want to dox my parents, but I don't think that I didn't know they had functioning locks on their doors until I was in my teens. I didn't realize the door's even locked because we never bothered. But we're out in the middle of nowhere. Somebody'd have to drive 20 minutes just to get to our house if they wanted to rob us. They'd spend more on the gas than they made off with what we had.
Yeah. My parents, when they lived, when I was a teenager, they had a dog that wasn't survivable if you entered our house without us.
Right. Yeah. They probably would have never gotten to the door. That's a good point. I guess that's why we didn't really need locks, because nobody could get to the door. We had, it was good for keeping the traveling salesman and the Jehovah's Witness. They never came to our door either. They pull up in the driveway and then back right back out. I was like, nah, I'm not going to deal with that one.
Yeah. Oh, my kitten loves corn shucks.
Really?
Yes, so I'll go down to the sweet corn wagon's done this year, but I'll go down to the sweet corn wagon, get a dozen. I peel off and shuck the corners when you take the outside off, and my cat just comes up and goes,
I want that.
It wants the shuck, and I give him a whole shuck, and he's happy for 3 days.
What is kitty poo?
It's not here right now. My son's home from work, so they just love my son. They're in there with him.
I have a fun fact for people that aren't from the Midwest. If you ever see an ear of corn and it has all the tassels coming off the top of it, just so you know, there is one tassel for every kernel of corn. So that's how those get. So those, you know what I'm talking about, Abby? The corn tassels, a little silk that comes off the top. There's one little piece of silk for every kernel on that ear.
Okay. I see what you're saying now.
I don't know.
So,
not really a fun fact, but it's just a fact.
Also,
have you guys ever had a blood orange?
Oh yeah.
I can't have them now, but yeah, I've had them.
So if you make a coleslaw, because a lot of people like coleslaw mayonnaise based, that's disgusting to me. I don't know why people love mayonnaise so much. Mayonnaise is not a seasoning.
I think it's a culture thing. I think it's a culture thing.
It's not a seasoning. But
and actually, funny enough, in about 15 minutes, I have to make some mayonnaise because I make my own mayonnaise since we have chickens.
Sean says his cousin eats onion and mayo sandwiches.
Yeah.
Cousins that just eat mayo.
Wait, he said like he heard of that before.
Yeah, I did too.
I've heard of people doing that. All kinds of.
Wow.
I do that, but I put Brunchweiger in there, so it's Brunchweiger mayo and onion. You got to have a little Brunchweiger in there.
Wow.
Do you know Brunchweiger?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I'm gonna have to feed you.
We don't pronounce it right in Iowa.
No,
it's surprising that we don't.
Yeah, there's enough Germans there. You'd think they'd be able to get it right.
Oh,
but
that looks disgusting.
Iowa actually has a habit of pronouncing names that are from other countries completely wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So I can have people from Mexico on the ground pissing their pants if I start pronouncing Iowa names for towns.
Right.
We have one called Buena Vista, and they hear that they're just dying immediately. And
being from Cedar Rapids, I grew up eating kolaches, but I'm pretty sure that kolache isn't how it's.
They had a sausage had a baby.
They eating it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not on mute.
It's like it's kind of like goose pate, only better.
It looks like bologna or something.
So Cedar Rapids originally was like 1/8 Polish people living there, 1/8 Czechoslovakians.
Yeah, they got the Czech museum, the big Czech. Well, was it the Czech museum? But now I don't. And that was before they split up Czechoslovakia or Czech and Slovakia.
That was a long time ago. But they had like 8 different communities that came together, and they had one that was Amana, which was formerly a sex cult.
Really? The Amanas?
Yeah, I didn't know that until somebody was telling me about it there, and that's why they did so much better than the Quakers.
Right?
Really hard to get new members in the Quakers.
Right. I'm going over the Amanas. I'll see you later.
A lot of Quakers in New York City. Surprisingly, there's a lot of them.
Well, Pennsylvania, that area, yeah.
Right. Pennsylvania Dutch, sure. That would be a short wagon ride.
The rest of them just hopped on the wagon trains. I'm going to Iowa. I'm going to the Amanas.
Right. Yeah. The Amanas always had good food. Yeah. Good food, good wine. Yeah.
Before they got the idea of sending everything offshore, used to be some of the best appliances in the world. If
Huh?
you went 50 miles west, you got to what is the name of the other one? The other appliance dealer,
Maytag.
Maytag, was
We're not
just,
going to talk about Maytag.
but it wasn't very far away. And so there was just a line of them all right along that highway. And
So, Snork, I'm going to tell you a story here. We have time. Well, we've got time. We've got all the time in the world. So, my great grandfather took an oil pump and converted it and turned it into a washing machine agitator. And I don't remember the guy's first name, but I'm pretty sure that his last name was Maytag. Took that idea and ran to the patent office. And that's why they are called Maytag washers and not Rawson washers. Or,
this happens
they
a lot.
stole I should be living in the Maytag mansion right now.
Happens a lot. That
I will
happens a
never
lot.
buy a Maytag product.
I constantly have people call me up with ideas, and I say, stop. Don't tell me the idea until you've written it down.
Right.
Write
Get
it
a
down.
patent.
Yeah, where's my NDA?
Right.
Yeah, you're correct. But also, I tell them you can file a provisionary patent on it. Get as much information as you have, and then I'll talk. If you want to talk, I'll talk to you. But I try to tell people I don't want to cover it. If it's something I'm already working on, I don't want to talk to somebody else.
Right. Then they'll just say, I stole my idea, even if you're working on it simultaneously. Yeah, that wasn't Maytag's deal by any stretch of the imagination.
But this area, because of the wealth, so once somebody in DeKalb, Illinois, invented barbed wire, it became possible for people to let their cattle loose in the cornfield after they harvested the corn, and they were able to just let the cattle out in the cornfield and eat all it, because corn is basically grass.
Yeah.
We basically eat the grass, the little seeds, and the cattle eat the rest. So it was a real good way over the winter for them just to go out and munch.
Easy silage.
And it wasn't till later that they came up with the idea of silos where they pack everything in.
Right.
But so this area, once they did barbed wire, tractors were just from 50 miles or 60 miles, maybe 100 miles east of DeKalb is where tractors came from.
Right.
And then eventually the tractors moved here.
Yeah. Wasn't John Deere was Illinois, wasn't it? And then Harvester.
John Deere was John Deere was Moline, Illinois.
Right.
Immediately they moved half their operation to Davenport, Iowa.
Oh yeah.
And the big operation was up here in Waterloo, Iowa. So the biggest part. But if you wanted to buy a harvester for rice, wheat, anything like that, all of the major harvester companies at one time were on one street, one after the other in Moline, Illinois.
Bam. Right. How big a tractor you want? You got to go down a half a block, go in that door.
Well, they would only sell like 100 harvesters a year at that time, but that's still a lot.
Well, and they were never
these are worth more than
they were
a car.
never cheap. Even back then, you had to pay a pretty penny, even if it was $100 or $1,000, whatever. It wasn't $500,000, but back then, you'd have to sell some stuff to be able to afford a tractor.
Yeah, but so it's pretty devastating. I mean, from 1985 or 86, that's when it really got bad. So it used to be every town in Iowa, pretty much every town in Illinois, made a tractor part. So there was a factory in every town that made a tractor part. And all of those towns lost their tractor factories.
Yeah.
So John Deere didn't just make it here. And Obama was so proud that he kept a few of the assembly factories, and he moved all
the
of all the
parts,
component factories off the country.
right? Yeah,
And
you could still say made in America even if all the parts come from Mexico.
yeah, as long as they had an assembly plant here. And Obama wasn't the first one. Clinton was.
Yeah,
And
TPP or no, what was his thing? Not the TPP. What was NAFTA?
NAFTA, yeah. And that was around the time that Tom Friedman wrote that book, The World is Flat. Trying to convince everyone that it's a great idea to offshore. They changed the term from offshore to, what was it first? Was it outsource? It was outsource at first, right?
I don't know.
Then they changed it to offshore.
We're pretty much, I think we did call it outsourcing at first.
Outsourcing at first. And now it's called offshoring because that's a better
it sounds better.
Getting screwed.
Right.
But usually we would fix the factory in the United States, design the new automation for it, and we would build automated factories in Mexico.
Right. Well, and now they took that model, and now they're doing that with beef. They'll grow the cows in Mexico or Brazil, whatever, then bring them to the United States, cut them up. Oh yeah, this is American beef. You know that.
Well, Jacqueline brings up a really good point, and it kind of speaks to the arrogance of us in the United States of America. She says technically you can still say it's made in America because Mexico is in America.
Yeah, made in North America.
Right. Right. And that just shows like how we're so arrogant, and they use that arrogance against us.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, there was a town in Japan, I recall from my junior high classes, there was a town in Japan called USA. And they made that town just so they could manufacture stuff there and said made in USA, but when you spell it out, it's USA.
USA was actually in Samoa, wasn't it?
Was it? Maybe it was. Like I said, that's going back to junior high. I just remember them making a town specifically and then naming it USA.
But the town was, because Japanese labor by then was already really expensive. So the Samoan labor was really cheap.
Maybe that was it. It was a Japanese company that they offshored into. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I just wanted to say really quickly, John H., hello. You got a wrench. Sebastian, hello. You got a wrench. And it was one more person, but I can't even remember now. I hurt myself, so now I'm like...
You're off. So when we started, did you think this conversation was going to end up with pork loins and Mexican manufacturing?
No.
I think we didn't start there, but we never end up where we start. That's why I love this show. That's why I love talking to you.
No, I was like, well, how did we get here? Oh, and what are y'all eating?
Huh? I tell you, I'm going to get you a pork loin sandwich at some point, just so you can say you've had one.
Pork tenderloin.
Or tenderloin. Yes, tenderloin.
So I'm like 60 miles north of where he's from. So we speak differently than the Southerners.
Right. Well, if you can get on the interstate, head down to Center Point. I know Casey's has a great, or not Casey's, what's the name of that? They have one of those big, and they are so good, those tenderloins. Maybe Mother Mind Hour can tell me the name of the place in Center Point that has those good tenderloins.
Mother Mind Hour, that is so cute.
Got to stick on a theme, right? Jonesy's, thank you, Mom. Yeah. If you're ever in Center Point, you got to stop at Jonesy's. It's worth the trip.
Ham and jambalaya.
Michael said he liked ham and his jambalaya sometimes.
Y'all just disrespectful.
I told him one time in Texas, I had somebody cook gumbo with some ham in it.
What?
Like what? Yeah, serious. She was like, "Oh, you're from Louisiana. I got some. I want to show off my good old gumbo."
There's no pig.
Okay, yeah, man.
There's no pig in gumbo.
Corn, tomatoes. I'm like, what
Oh,
the
he
hell
said
are
he
you
like
doing?
He say like meatloaf is jambalaya. And tomatoes? What the? Call it something else. Don't call it that.
Right? Yeah, you need a whole new name at that point.
Yeah,
Do
you gonna have
you
to.
see the
Yeah,
picture?
you gotta rename it.
Oh, hold on. We got show and tell. He's eating corn husks.
He-
Yeah.
he's as happy as if they were catnip.
Right?
Oh,
So I took too close. He's like
is he a vocal cat?
a little vocal, but he's like in the midst of a whole group of corn shucks that's all around him. Just
Snort, that makes me wonder if there is some sort of family between the corn and the catnip. I know they're completely different, but at some point they're both
it's
seeded
possible.
grasses.
It's possible, but
Yeah, right?
I have never seen a cat go after corn husks before.
Huh. I'll have to next time I get sweet corn, I'll have to do an experiment with Alfred.
I've
See
known
what he
corn. I grew up with a lot of farmers.
thinks.
They had cats, and the cats totally ignored the corn.
Yeah. Well, and that's. I remember we had dogs that would go after just the actual husk after we were done. Yeah, they'd totally chew on them like a bone. So I don't know if maybe there is something there. I don't know.
Oh, this is stinging.
So when my big cat died, my big cat kind of raised this one a little bit. So I took this one in as a favor for my cousin, and he like slept with the big one, so they just curl up together. And when we got this one, I told my daughter to contemplate a good name for the cat. So he's named after the god of contemplation for like some ancient group. I can't remember what that was, but somewhere in the Greek area. So his name is Mileti. I'm pronouncing it probably wrong, but it's the god of contemplation.
Right. Well, we had a black cat that just passed, and she was Nyx, goddess of dreams. And then
Yeah.
I've got a tuxedo cat. He's Alfred Pennyworth because he's got the tuxedo and he's Batman's butler.
Yeah, we
My
always
cat's
take turns
name is,
naming the cats.
Mittens Rachmaninoff. He already had a name, Mittens. We added the Rachmaninoff
Right.
because
That's
my
what
favorite
we got.
composers.
We got two dogs. We got the female was Foxy Brown, and then like months later we had to take in the father because he was being left alone. So we brought him in, and his name was already Miles, so we just named him Miles Davis to go with Foxy Brown.
Fair enough. I was trying to find this video for you, Snorky, but I'm having a hard time finding it.
Oh,
My cat has
talking about goulash again. We just made goulash yesterday. Better half hour made a big pot of goulash. So we'll have goulash leftovers for a week.
Sean said spaghetti and noodles and shit.
Spaghetti and noodles and shit.
I can't fuck with pasta.
All right, should we start shouting out the civilians? We're pulling up on 2 hours here, and I gotta take care of Mom some more. She's been very
waiting.
patient with me.
She's been waiting. You can start shouting them out. I am just trying to check to see if I can
Absolutely.
find this
I just want to thank
Go ahead.
all the civilians for stopping by. Sean, Orca, I'm just going to read in reverse order. Mother Mind Hour. We got Orca. We got Michael. I should have been marking these earlier. Jacqueline, thank you for staying up, taking a little nap, and coming back. Sean, thank you for swinging in. Orca, Rondo, awesome, bro. Thank you for stopping in. John's here, right on. Who am I missing?
And
I know there was
hopefully
Sebastian.
one day they'll
Yeah.
come on.
Right? We can all have
feel
civilian
comfortable.
discourse. Cobra, awesome, Cobra. Thank you for stopping by. Sean Miller again. And if I'm missing you, Old Man
And
Baker,
R.I.P.
awesome.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try.
Fairly new to
Rafat
the
Alir,
family.
awesome. And if I missed your name, I apologize. It's not intentional, but my phone's dead, so I have to look at the StreamYard to find it, and that's not the easiest thing to do. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by and having a civilian discourse with us.
Could have been anywhere
Hey, can I
else
say
in the
one thing?
world, but you came to be with us.
That's right. Do you want
Yeah,
to?
I just wanted to invite everyone to pop in tomorrow. There's going to be a transitional name change
Ooh,
for Black athletes in politics. I'm
rebranding.
expanding.
And date change.
Yeah, I'm rebranding and expanding.
Oh,
Awesome.
excuse me.
So hopefully y'all can pop in.
What is
I'm
wrong?
adding some music.
Awesome. And then I think, Cookies is in the house. Yeah, I got a meeting with him here pretty soon. We are, speaking of Cookies, we are going to be on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Tin Rabbit podcast with special guests, the one and only Kit Cabello from Hard Lens Media. So he will be on tomorrow or Wednesday. Sorry, I'm skipping a day ahead. So make sure to check that out. There's Cookies. And then Thursday is Noteworthy,
Noteworthy.
right? Yeah. And that's
Danilo.
same time, same place, same Abby time, same Do channel.
Yeah, we're gonna same do channel, all that good stuff. Love you all. We appreciate you all. And I guess we'll see you.
Oh, we got to thank
Next
Snork
time.
for stepping up to
Oh,
the
that's
plate
true.
and taking a swing. Thank you,
I'm
Snork.
sorry, Snark.
No problem.
He's RIP is somewhat new to the family, so everybody show him. I'm assuming it's a him. Some love.
Yeah, you can't be assuming. I make that mistake all the time.
Show them some
Yeah.
love.
When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
You and me. That's for real. So we're gonna go out with Rondo sent me some funny videos of some cooking since we were talking about cooking today. So let me go ahead and share that on the way out. Everybody's so creative.
Ooh. And before I made a new countdown for Tin Rabbit, and it's got Mouse FS music behind it. So he's going to be a permanent part of the countdown for Tin Rabbit. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, Mousie's a bit. Oh wait, you didn't give me permission to call him Mousy yet.
Mousy yet?
I got.
You need to get that in writing.
I got to put in the work first. Respect. I didn't know Mouse SF was a musician.
Oh yeah.
Noteworthy,
we need to get Mouse to come on here too, because he used to work with Prince. He was like
oh yeah.
big in the.
But I thought he worked with Prince as like he was like a production assistant.
Yeah. But he does like house music and he's he's like an MC, DJ, music mixer, jack of all trades.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that he was telling so many stories in the chat room during Abby Do and Michael's Noteworthy. I was kind of interrupting. I apologize.
It was so exciting.
I apologize. It was amazing that he was like talking like he was just a regular person.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have, and I think he was from Iowa. So we got the whole Iowa connection too.
Let's see what kind of food he
Or
eats.
was in Iowa.
So
So yeah,
Snorky,
I'll write him, see if I can get him on.
You got to thank you, Snorky, from Sean. It's always
Everybody
a pleasure
show
when
Snork
you
some love.
join.
I live in the town with the last of the original Dairy Queens.
Oh,
We have a sandwich here that when all of the other Dairy Queens quit, they bought all the packages. We still have them, and they're called twin cronies. So they're two halves of hot dogs served with taco meat.
Ooh.
And it's 50% normal taco meat strength of the seasoning.
Right.
It's if
Sounds-
anybody comes through this area, they stop there just to get the twin cronies.
Damn, Snork, I still haven't eaten. Now my stomach's rumbling between the strawberry rhubarb, the tenderloins, and the double croners. No,
twin crony.
Twin crony.
Well, I used to live in a
Now
town
my stomach's
where
rumbling.
I used to live in a town where it was the last of the original drag queens. And I'll be going back in February. I want to talk to you about that, Nahilo. Maybe you can meet us in New York City. Hopefully, we'll see. So, yeah.
Take us home, Abby.
All right. Will do. Everybody loves you, Snork.
Thanks again, buddy.
No problem.
Ooh, what am I doing? Oh, no. There we go. My bad.
Pumpkin out, take all the seeds and insides out, and make yourself a nice big hole in the top. Get yourself a chicken. If you want to wash it, wash it. If you don't, you don't. If you eat your own chicken, it don't even matter. Because if you wash it, you're just going to scrub it on down like you scrub a baby in the tub and then season it up. If you don't want to wash it, you're just going to not wash it and pair it up with some dirty chicken with your dirty rice. Now coat it all in all this seasoning, because I know y'all like to talk about people if they don't season. So if you coat it all down, nobody can say anything. Put some stuff inside the cavity. Whatever you want, whatever vegetables you got in your refrigerator that's damn near about to rot. Put some onions, some garlic, some thyme. Some people call it thyme because they like to read real good. Put it on in there. See that? See how it looks almost like a reversal delivering a baby? There you go. See how that look? Pop it on inside. Make it real snug. You got potatoes in the bottom, and look how it's crowning. It's crowning. And then you go and put some more potatoes and carrots or whatever you got in your, I don't care. Put everything in there. Duck sauce, hot sauce, my sauce, your sauce. Put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 2 whole hours. I said it, 2 whole hours. Y'all see that, babe? Oh, I'm serious with this. And then pop it in the oven. Go ahead, Jane. Show them how it's done. Write this down. Write it down because I know y'all gonna forget. Y'all gonna forget all this information that she's giving you. See that? We're about to see how it looks after 2 hours. Uh-oh. It looks pumpkin-y. It looks really, really roasted. Can I see inside? Come on, the reveal. Oh my goodness, it looks just like potatoes is inside of there getting all cooked. Oh, it's going to the bathroom. Look how it looks. See how that looks all juicy? Because it is. You don't want any crispy, crunchy skin. This is for people that prefer their skin to be soft with lots of flavoring. See how juicy that looks? It looks better than yours. How it tastes. How it tastes. Oh, they good. It's good. It's good. It tastes pumpkin potato.
Step that way. Step that way. Step that way. Step that way. Mm-hmm.